Since you're watching this, I think it's probably safe to say that you're a car enthusiast. Somebody who enjoys a tastefully modified vehicle, somebody who can't live the stock car, somebody who needs wheels, tires, and suspension from FitmentIndustries.com on their car to make it stand out from the crowd. To make sure that whenever you walk away from your car, you can't help but look back at it and to express themselves with their vehicle. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. And create something unique that nobody else has. But maybe my favorite thing to do with my cars on top of wheels, tires, and suspension is to make it louder, make it quicker, make it more fun to drive. Hit them with that downpipe and the tune so you can go do big smoky burnouts and aggressively pass people who get on the highway at 45 miles an hour because for some reason they think that that is okay. Anyway, as an enthusiast, you've probably heard that modifications can and or will void your vehicle's factory warranty, which is a huge downside for enthusiasts who want a newer vehicle. You know, something with that new car smell, something that gives you peace of mind, maybe modern fuel economy and modern horsepower. But maybe more importantly, you know, a friggin' warranty. A warranty is great peace of mind, especially for a commuter you're just gonna stack miles on, or for a luxury brand vehicle that's known for expensive repairs that is really unsafe to own outside of its warranty. But now you can't modify it without risking that nice and safe warranty of yours, right? Well, the fine print and the manufacturer representatives may make it sound like using aftermarket parts on your car that's still under warranty would be like ripping up that warranty contract. But it's not quite that black and white. You see, in 1975, the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act passed Congress, which protects consumers from being wrongfully denied warranty coverage when they use aftermarket replacement parts for their vehicle. Luckily for us, that also goes for aftermarket performance and cosmetic enhancing parts as well. Now, at the end of the day, all this really means for you is that you cannot automatically be denied or have your warranty voided altogether just because of having or using aftermarket parts. And that the dealership or manufacturers need to prove that the aftermarket part or parts in question are the direct cause of the failure in accordance with federal law, which is really, really important, especially for us car people. Now, I used to work at a Ford dealership in Menominee, Wisconsin, and I remember a 2013 Boss 302 came in for some warranty work. It was probably around 2014, 2015 at the time. The differential was all sort of ridiculous, like completely blown out. The cover was all in pieces. And I remember hearing the service writers giving him the runaround about his performance enhancing modifications. It literally just had Nitto NT05s instead of the stock Pirelli P0s on stock wheels with some lowering springs and a catback. None of which this factory built literal race car couldn't handle. Like, maybe you could argue that the diff may have grenaded if it had some giant slicks on it, but it's a Boss P, it's a Boss P. But it's a Boss 202, people don't really do that. It's a kind of a circuit car, not a drag car. Anyway, if it were up to the dealer and the service writers, they would have told him to kick rocks. But because of the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, your boy was all covered, even though they bumped him around for a few weeks. So the act does help for that kind of stuff, but you can't just go out and go crazy and expect them to stick up for you. If you throw a blower out of 2020 370Z and your connecting rods connect your block to the atmosphere, you're probably out of luck. But if you follow a few rules and modify your car in a smart way, you can add performance and curb appeal to your ride without voiding your factory warranty. So let's talk about that. So first and foremost, stick to your more basic bolt-on parts. I say basic because a bolt-on turbo kit is not gonna look so hot when your clutch starts to slip, all right? Wheels, tires, and suspension are honestly some of the easiest modifications to avoid warranty hassles with, because changing out your wheels and tires doesn't really add stress to anything. In fact, in most cases, you'll actually be lowering that stress because the wheel and tire package is lighter. I f***ed it up, Jerry. I f***ed it up real good. Whoa. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Wheels, tires, and suspension are honestly some of the easiest modifications to avoid warranty hassles with, because changing out your wheels and your tires doesn't really add stress to anything. In fact, in most cases, you're gonna be lowering that stress with a lighter wheel and tire package. Same with your suspension. It's not really connected to anything else that it can alter. And again, they usually end up reducing fatigue on the chassis because of weight savings, you know? And the same goes with sway bars, you know, increasing performance, reducing weight, and it doesn't really affect anything but keeping your body roll in check. Big bakes. Is what I was gonna say. Big brakes can be a great modification that adds both looks and performance to your car as well. And again, the theme here being parts that don't tie into a bunch of other stuff. If anything else fails, it would be really hard to tie that back into the braking system. Another big one people get wrong is making sure all these parts are made with high quality components. There's a reason a lot of your more established brands have higher prices, and it's almost specifically for this reason. That also means that making sure they're installed correctly and cleanly is gonna be extremely important. If you have to go in for a warranty claim, you kind of have to convince the service writer and the technician to give you the benefit of the doubt. So showing up with a rusty booger welded muffler delete that looks like a hack job is a surefire way to raise a couple of eyebrows and have them searching for a reason to deny your claim. But if you have a nice, polished, quality brand name catback with perfect welds and quality hardware, they're probably not even going to think twice about it. Exterior mods are another awesome way to change up the look of your ride without causing service writers to have a friggin' anxiety attack. Bumper covers, side skirts, lips, diffusers, carbon fiber hoods, trunks, spoilers, grills, lighting, you kind of get the point. These are all super easy to clear the service writer's checklist of doom because they don't really affect the function of anything else. Now, as you may have noticed, everything I've just talked about is not a power increasing modification. That doesn't mean you can't add performance parts, but this is where it starts to get a little bit dicey. Tuning's kind of a gray area, and I would really try to avoid it if possible. It would be really easy for a dealership to argue that just about anything driveline relating of an issue could be because you added power, but that's not always the case. Short shifters are an awesome way to enhance your driving experience without risk as well. It can help make your car feel more race car-y with those quick and short shifts and paddling through the gears like a freaking John Force. It doesn't really change much other than just the pivot point of the shifter, so it can't really cause any adverse issues that you would need to worry about. But outside of which mods you choose, one of the biggest factors in determining how much you fight the dealer is choosing the right dealership to go to in the first place. Some dealerships are extremely strict with how they run their warranty claims, and others can be a lot more lax and forgiving and realistic with their processes and, you know, in getting you in and out smoothly. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Follow these simple rules, do your dealer research online, and overall just make, you know, an educated decision on what you do and don't modify. And understand that there are risks involved, but if you play your cards right, you can really change the look and the feel of your ride with wheels, tires, and suspension from fitmentindustries.com without voiding your warranty. I sincerely hope that this video was helpful, and if it was, you could please hit that thumbs up button. It helps us out a ton. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see us do or talk about next. I'm Sean from Fitment Industries, SeanB.fi on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.